Welcome to Linkronicity, we're your journey and destiny link. I'm Stacey, Kumagai, your linkologist, and I'm here to help you link your life. How you doing, lovely souls? You okay? I am sending you so much love from my heart, and for all of those of you who are struggling or suffering, I want to send my condolences, my sympathies, my love and strength and support to you during this challenging time. I know this is hard for everyone. And, you know, when we were talking 8 months ago, when I shot the video about the new normal that was going to be happening from 2019 through 2021, no one could have imagined something this huge, this life-changing, altering magnitude of this pandemic. Nobody could have imagined this. But we're here. And we're in it together, and we're in it collectively, and this is our new reality. So, what I wanted to do today is I wanted to do a productive video that could be both evergreen and at the same time in real time kind of addressing what's going on right now. So whenever you're deciding to watch this, that it could apply to you no matter where you are on your life's journey and be helpful in a way that you can navigate your energies. So today we're going to be talking about fatigue and exhaustion and how to replenish it, refortify, recalibrate, and reignite some stuff within us as we're going through this, because it is tough. And one of the reasons why a lot of you are tired beyond your human isn't because you're binge watching programs or whatever, or spending endless hours on the phone, you know, getting your resources and all of these things which do deplete our energies. But it's not just your human who's tired. It's your soul that's tired. And it's because we're dealing with past, present, and future. And so what I wanted to do today was clarify how we're expending our energies, because awareness empowers you. Because once you're aware of something and you know the root cause of where it comes from, then it empowers you. Then when you feel empowered, you can do something about it, right? Because we can get to the solution and becoming the solution piece of it once we understand where the problem exists within us. But how I'm addressing this today is going to be a little bit different, because it's not so much a problem as much as where we all are. Now, 8 months ago when I was talking about healing within and rising to the next level of consciousness, when I mentioned that we're all being asked to rise, which we're all being asked to rise, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we were never all on the same page or same level at the same time, in the same moment, in the same hour, to rise here. It's like everybody was at this different place, and wherever you were, you rose to the next level. Some of you who are up here, you're rising to the next level. So wherever it is. And so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at this in full human awareness acknowledgement by looking at our past, present, and future, and how we're expending these energies to this pandemic right now with where we are, so we can release. Why is that important? Releasing that strengthens you. Strengthening your inner being, your inner wellness, well-being, boosts your immune system. And why do we need to boost our immune system? You know the answer to that, right? And part of it is getting quality sleep, which you can't get if your mind is going here and your heart is like, and you're all fragmented everywhere, because it's natural right now, because everyone's, depending on where they're at, they're spinning in a different place with this so-called new normal, because it's an adjustment, it's change, it's transformation, and most humans don't deal with that very well. Not 100% well, to the point where it's 100% peace all the time. This is not a peaceful situation that we're going through for anyone. And even if you are a master, you're experiencing your own level of things too. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do our lovely 3-column exercise, but we're going to attach it to this pandemic and where you are emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and show you how that is manifesting physically in your body to where you're not getting quality sleep, why you're exhausted all the time, why are you having a problem juggling all of those emotions. Because yes, it's overwhelming, but you can manage it. You can. And today we're going to get a little bit closer to doing that in a productive way. So let's talk about it. Everybody's feeling it, and everybody's going through this at different phases and different times, depending on where you live, how the pandemic's affecting where you are geographically, what you're connected to with your loved ones all over the place, the information you know, the information you don't know, and how that's all churning into the reality that you are living in your community of where you are. Okay, so let's talk about the past. On a human level, where you were pre-pandemic, letting go of the past was something different than what it means right now. Why? Because our present is changing every single hour. So every hour, what is the present now becomes the past. We have new information. We have new deaths. We have new hospitalizations. We have new developments happening across the world, across the globe. Boom, 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 boom. And that's why it's harder. Because every minute becomes, in the present moment, the past, like that. It's surreal for a lot of us, right? Just couldn't even have imagined this beyond a movie, but like, we're living it, we're experiencing it. So how we are acknowledging our past is constant. It's not like you reflect on a memory when you're 5 years old and go, oh, that's the past. No, every minute can become the past because we have new developments, new information, new things being thrown at us, new resources too. And we're juggling it all. Our human still has to live here on earth. Our soul knows something more. And even though we united our human and our soul, we worked so hard on this last summer, we united our human and our soul to come together into one in our awareness and our consciousness. If you go back to my videos from 2019, you'll see. Now we're taking this to yet another beyond the beyond scope of territory that anyone who is a human living on this earth right now has not lived. Okay, our ancestors did. They went through it through the Great Depression. They went through all of these different wars. They went through it. But we have not experienced this to this level in our lifetime. So it's new. So the past is new. The past is new in the present moment. And that's why you're having a hard time and you're tired. You're tired. You know. And while we would like to think we're tired because we're watching news 24/7, and while we think we're tired because we're binge watching 24/7, and we think we're tired because we're constantly trying to put all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together, but the pieces are changing. This is why connecting to the past is a different level of consciousness than it was pre-pandemic. Okay, so the first column, let's write down all of the things that we know that are not going to be the same ever again. Let's do it. Let's do it. Our mind knows it, our heart knows it, and we're grieving it as we're experiencing it because we haven't fully purged it. Because there's a glimmer of fairy tale hope that, oh, it will go back to normal. Well, it'll go back to the way it was. It's not. So what we have to do right now is we have to write it down. We have to acknowledge it so we can grieve it appropriately to release it. Once we do that, we have a new ground that we can actually heal ourselves. Because then that brings us back to our present consciousness of this boop, 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 information, superhighway, blah, 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 constant, right? As we think about this future that's this empty space. So let's do that. Let's put in the first column all the things that we know that are not going to be the same. They're not. I recently just did this myself. My other life is a publicist for live events, and I was directly affected COVID-19. All of a sudden, we couldn't gather, so I had no live events to publicize. Been doing it for 35 years. So I had to kiss that piece of my life goodbye, because even if we do return to gatherings, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be kind of like after 9/11, where we had to do security. You know how like going through the airport was different, and having live events and security check-ins was different, right? After 9/11, it's going to be like that. So piece of myself I had to actually let go and actually put in that past column, like it'll never be that way ever again. So I had to like come to terms with it. I had to like wrestle with it, come to terms with it. So what for you in your life is not going to be the same ever again? Write it down. Is it going to work? Are you going to end up working from home? Are you going to change careers? Did you lose someone to this pandemic? Are you going to have now holidays without this loved one? What is it in your past that's never going to be the same ever again? Put that column 1. Once you do that, you can look at it, acknowledge it, and do your own grieving process of that, so that way you can let go. We can't fully heal until we do that. Okay? But it's okay to acknowledge what that past was, celebrate it for what it was, and now look at the new reality of what is now. And that shifts us front and center, present moment, which is hard. Present moment's hard because every hour, every minute, boom, 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 change, 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 present, present, present. So let me ask you this. What can you do right now with what you have with where you are? What can you do right now with what you have with where you are? That's the present. That's the reality of our present right now. What information pieces do you have? When you watch the news today, what information pieces do you have? And it could be simple. It could be like, this doesn't work as a mask. Or, oh, I do have to disinfect this. I don't. Oh my gosh, it does come in on your shoes. Like, what information do you have right now that you can work with that's real with what you have right now? It could change tomorrow. With more research that's being done, it could change tomorrow. But what can you do with what you have right now? What resources do you have right now? What information do you have to work with right now? What are you grateful for right now? What are you grateful for? Are you healthy right now? That's a big one. Do you have a roof over your head right now? Another big one. Do you have food on your table right now? It's a big one. Don't worry about tomorrow. Worry about right now. We have today. We have today. And this is where the serenity prayer is really helpful. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is where this pandemic is changing us. The wisdom to know the difference is the integral piece. It's the missing link. What is your wisdom telling you? What is your wisdom telling you? What does your heart know? What does your gut know? What does your soul ultimately know? With this wisdom you now have to know the difference of what you can and can't control. Right? What are you surrendering? In column 2, write all of the present things that you do know. Now this list may change in an hour or tomorrow, but there may be some things that stay the same with what you do know. Let's write down some of the things that you know that will stay. Like some of your values, some of your core principles, some of your things, some of your ethics, some of what the things you stand for. Maybe that's changed through this pandemic. But if it's something that's solid that you think it's going to stick around, let's write that down. Let's celebrate that right now. Because that's worth honoring. Okay? as a blank slate. Maybe you have some pieces figured out, maybe you don't. But we can't look too far right now because there's still a lot we don't know. And for those of you who followed me for a long time but never checked out the Sitting in the Void or Linking to the Unknown, I do have a video for that I shot 3 years ago. That might be helpful to you right now. But linking to the unknown of what you don't know, or what you think you know, or what you think you can figure out, it's a whole different ball game from when I shot that video 3 or 4 years ago. The unknown is something different now. The unknown is finding your gratitude and your grace with the unknown of what can still be. What does that mean for you people? What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Can you still dream? Can you still have hope? Do you still have your faith? Do you have conviction of what it is you want to do? How you want to live from here on out? Maybe you didn't cherish the present moment the way that you should or that you do now because you're in quarantine or you're at home and you actually are now slowing down enough to listen or slowing down enough to enjoy the things you said you didn't have time for, or you're now slowing down enough to recognize your feelings. If you were on the treadmill, hamster wheel of life, going, status quo, status quo, status quo, and all of a sudden you don't have that anymore, it's going to push you. It's going to push you. It's going to ignite you. And even though you don't have this future figured out yet, it is something you can take with you. So write what you know there. And don't worry if it's not long. You may only have 2 things. That's all right. Be grateful for those 1 or 2 things. And if it's still empty, be grateful that it's empty and it's kind of like a blank canvas that you can paint on. Okay? You're still here. Let's start with that. Let's put that in the future call. You're still here right now. So as far as you know, today, you're still here. That's huge. So let's look at that. Now, as we're looking at our past, present, which is changing, to the past, and our future, let's look at what we have to work with. Let's be honest with what we see. Once you can actually quantify and qualify some of this, now it's in front of you instead of spinning here, keeping you up at night. So what are we ultimately doing when we do that? We're boosting our immune system. Why? Because we get quality sleep. That's the only time, people, that our bodies can actually heal. It's the only time our bodies can amplify our immune system. It's the only time that we can rest mind, body, soul, spirit for our health, well-being. So, if we accomplish nothing else today, through our past, acknowledgement of our present, and looking at crafting our future, we can at least get out of here, get back into here, and be grateful that now we can let something go, release, so we can get our quality sleep, so we can boost our immune system. Now that we see where our energies are expended, ask yourself the question, where you are putting more of your energies? What's going to be more productive for you? How's that going to work for you? What better serves you, so that way you can be in alignment, so you can now be in a place to help others with what you have, with where you are, doing what you do the best that you can. That's how we link it all together. That's how it all links together. Acknowledging you're doing the best you can with who you are, what you have, where you are, and navigating from this space. Because when we navigate from this space, we have empowered ourselves to not excessively worry, agonize, struggle, suffer. We're releasing that to actually work with the past, the present, the future, in the present moment with our acknowledgement of what we can and can't control, to work with what we have so we can be. So I'm hoping that helps you, lovely souls. I know this is challenging for all of us. Believe me, I know. I'm an empath, so I pick up a lot of energies. And I felt like that's what you might need to do today. That would be the most helpful whenever you're watching this, even if you're watching this, I don't know, 10 years from now. Even if we're way past this pandemic. If the past, present, future consciousness, higher consciousness awareness is going to help you navigate your life better, that's all my pure heart intention is here wanting to do. So I send you my heart, I send you my compassion, I send you my love, I send you my light, I send you my healing energies so that you can navigate what we're going through right now, and we can do it collectively together and become stronger together in doing this as we navigate through these challenging times. So, I'm Stacey, Kumagai, your Linkologist. I'm here to help you link your life. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Linkronicity, blogspot.com. And if you have a question, or you're really just having a hard time, please go to Linkronicity.com and write me a comment or a question. I'm happy to answer it. I'm happy to get back with you. You know, I'm here doing some altruistic stuff to just, help the collective the best that I can with the information that I'm given at the time that I'm downloading, that it's like, so I can be of service in my best life, so I, can help you through this. We're in this together, okay? So, anyway, stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, and know that I'm sending you all of my love and my light, okay? Peace be with you, lovely souls. Peace be with you.